Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review and back to another 30th anniversary review from another film from 1987. And this is another film that I really do enjoy. Um, I saw this a few times back growing up. I would consider it like a childhood film for me though, but I remember seeing it a few times growing up. Not a whole lot of times though, but still. And unlike Adventures in Babysitting, my previous review, my brother, I don't think he has not seen this film. I believe he has. So, but but I remember seeing this a couple times growing up though. But now I wouldn't consider it a childhood film for me though. But still, for 30th, but I still think it's still a good family film. It's a good, it's a good film from the from the late 80s, and reviewing the 30th anniversary of, I would call it I would say close to, I would say a classic. I would put that just to make the film feel more good. And that is the 30th anniversary of Batteries Not Included. Like I said, it came out in actually close to Christmas time in 1997 actually. And the film, I would say, did pretty fairly. About a budget of 25 million, which is pretty decent sized budget for this film, and I think it made about 37 million domestically and total worldwide 65 million. So it did fairly well around the time it came out. Critical wise has a 60% Rotten Tomatoes and a 6.6 on IMDb. I would give it a little more higher ratings than those, for me personally. It has a pretty good cast. Stars Hume Cronyn and Jessica Tandy, which they're in real life they are married, which they do play an older couple in this film, which in real life they are married, and also together they were also starred together in Ron Howard's sci-fi film Cocoon, and also among other cast members you got Frank McRae, who I remember he played in the captain in the always screaming captain Last Action Hero, Slater. He always made me laugh in that film. It's funny. He plays a loudmouth, fast talking in that movie, in Last Action Hero. But here he's like quite the opposite guy. He's kind of like a gentle giant, quiet guy. Funny enough. But also other films, he was in the original Red Dawn. He was one of the teachers that got shot when the soldiers were coming down. But he was also in Loaded Weapon 1. So he's been in more other films though. But Last Action Hero for me, I mostly remember him as the screaming, shouting captain. Elizabeth Pena, may she rest in peace. Sad sucks that she's gone now. She was in Rush Hour, the first one. She had a little role in Free Willy 2. She was in Jacob's Ladder with Tim Robbins. That was a great movie. And she also had, of course, the voice role in The Incredibles. Dennis Boutsikaris, I mispronounced his name. Then you got Michael Carmine, who I remember he was in Leviathan. And sadly enough, he's also passed away, sadly, as well. In 1989, the same year when he starred in Leviathan, sadly he died at a very young age, actually, in his 30 years old, from AIDS. I was like, man, that sucks. So pretty good. It's a pretty good cast. And a lot of good people behind the film. Yeah, Steven Spielberg, first off, right there. He's the executive producer in this movie, and also this is the debut for not only the director Matthew Robbins helped write the screenplay, but 3 other people are involved in this, and this is the first time director Brad Bird, Iron Giant, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, he made his debut as a writer in this film, and as well as get 2 other people as writing. Brett Maddock and S.S. Wilson, the guys who wrote Tremors, and also each one directed the sequels, and wrote Short Circuit 1 and 2. And of course, Steven Spielberg, Kathleen Kennedy, Frank Marshall, all the producers on this. Mick Garris, who wrote the story, not only is he's a writer, but he directed Stephen King's Sleepwalkers, Critters 2, the main course, Psycho 4, the beginning, The Stand from Stephen King, and The Shining miniseries, Desperation, Bag of Bones. But as a writer, he also wrote on Critters 2, the main course, The Fly 2, Hocus Pocus, Riding the Bullet. So yeah, Mick Garris, who directed Sleepwalkers, The Stand, Critters 2, he wrote the story on this. So you got a lot of people behind this film. Really, a lot of good people behind this. And it was going to be an episode on the TV show called Amazing Stories, but Steven Spielberg convinced to make the idea to make it to a movie. So, yeah. And the plot is fairly simple. You got five tenants in this old apartment building it's going to be this big development corporation is trying to get tear down. These people are refusing to leave, in which our five main characters: Hume Cronyn, Jessica Tandy, Frank McRae, Elizabeth Pena, Dennis Boutsikaris. What's his name? They're there, but Michael Carmine is a guy named Carlos. He works for the guy. He works for the people. But he's trying to force them out, trying to give them money. He smashes up the cafe that Hume Cronyn owns, along with the building. Well, he doesn't own the building, but he lives there. But he owns this cafe. Tries to force them to leave by smashing up the place. Jessica Tandy plays Hume Cronyn's wife, who's like a little bit on dementia. She's like not really all there, like not like it's not like Alzheimer's, whatever. It's sort of dementia, sure. She's not all right in the head, basically. Like, she still believes that her son is alive, but actually, reality, he's dead. But like throughout the movie, she calls Carlos Bobby, which is her dead son. And it's like, and Carlos, like Michael Carmine is acknowledging, "I'm not your son," whatever. So it's like that. Elizabeth Pena, she's pregnant. She has a boyfriend, but she's always traveling this music band. Even for one part later in the movie, where he comes back, but then he leaves again. And Dennis Boutsikaris, he's a struggling artist. Frank McRae, he's a retired boxer, and he's a handyman as well. He helps him with that around the place. So, and he's also basically a gentle giant. He's a quiet, kind guy as well. So, and one night when Hume Cronyn says, "Please God help us," then when everyone's asleep, out of nowhere, we get these cute little flying saucers around. They fix up the cafe. They even a picture that of that Hume Cronyn has. They fix up a picture, or if you fix up a little statue that Michael Pena had and whatever. They can fix stuff, and they hide up on this little shack up on the roof. Jessica Tandy sees them, is taking care of them until all the tenants sees them. What they are, these cute flying saucers that I guess leads to the point of why did they come here? Maybe because the answer to them. They didn't really actually. When you think about it, they never fully explain why they were there. I'm thinking, we never need to. That's what I like about it. It's like a little bit of mystery to that, like that doesn't need to be explained. It's something like that I like. It's a little touch that I like that we don't need to know why they're there. Maybe it's leave our imagination. Maybe it's because the answer to them to help them out, whatever. And or maybe they're just finding a place to live because they're from outer space, or it's stuff like that that I think is very interesting. It's like a mystery that does not need to be explained, like certain films like The Thing, Prometheus. Leave that a mystery. We don't need it doesn't answer our question. Just leave it at that. There, maybe he's thinking maybe they're there to help us, or maybe to find a home or whatever. So yeah, I like that. I think that is a kind of little interesting thing, and and when Carlos comes back, he sees something, like gets hit in the head with he sees like a flying pot. He goes up there and he gets like shocked. And he runs away, and his guys are making fun of him, like, "Oh, you're seeing ghosts, whatever." So, and then with some time, even the which is it's basically this is a female rope get my finger there. This is a female, and that is a male right there. Even when in one part where they see them, they give birth to even little machines, little robots. And there was a third. There's two of them, but there's a third one. The thing is it's like a little bit premature, stillborn. But Frank McRae, he takes it, he tries to fix it, but accidentally launches in the sink, and it comes alive. So, and even with Frank McRae, he only says a few lines of dialogue in this film because he's like a quiet guy, like I said. When the third one is supposed to be like premature, he's like, "Batteries not included," says the title of the movie. And then their business starts. They start their cafe, Hume Cronyn's cafe. They start their business up again, and you get little cute little things like with them helping out, like the machines trying to flip burgers, or like one gets inside of a burger and flies away, or one's in a little soup and Jessica Tandy tosses in the sink. It's little stuff, little cute stuff like that. I think it's a cute little movie with these guys, which is good special effects, by the way. Good special effects. Forget who did the effects on these guys. Forget though, but it's well done effects. Not Oscar worthy though, but still pretty, very good effects. And they're cute. You get those little cute moments, And then back with the Carlos, speaking with the corporate higher up on Lacey's, the corporation that wants to tear down the building so he can put more like bigger buildings there. He's I'll still try to force him out. And then one part where he gets he has an axe, starts tearing crap up, and when the male saucer tries to intervene, he gets damaged, hits by the axe, which he supposedly looks like he's dead, but he's not. The female fixes him, and then the saucers think of what they've seen with the Carlos. They didn't do anything wrong. It was just because of Carlos. They run away. Frank Murray doesn't want to let go of the third baby one, but tells them to let it go. But they still go out looking for them though. And Frank McRae gets like one of those big microphones with a dog whistle for the three babies to respond to. Oh, speaking of cute things, I forgot to mention this cute scene where the female robot tries to teach the little young ones to fly, and like one doesn't want to fly. He's like holding on, and once again, cute stuff like that. And while they're out, Jessica Tandy, she's still in the building. One guy from the corporation tries to burn the place down. Carlos says, "No, let me do it." Breaks the gas lines. But when they see Jessica Tandy up there, he's like, "Oh crap!" He tries to go up there, tries to get her out though, but like Jessica Tandy, she still has this belief that Carlos is her son Bobby, but then she comes to realize to herself that she's not, and he is dead. Because she looked at her scrapbooks, there's a newspaper saying son died in car crash, and the building gets set on fire, and I like this. So that Michael Carmine, he's not a full-on bad guy though. He's just because he wants to be with the corporation and all that though. But when the place gets on fire, it shows that he does have a little bit of heart to him, because he's not a full-on bad guy. He saves Jessica Tandy. He gets her out through the fire escape, the ambulance, And even when they're back at the hospital, when their place gets burned down, he tries to like make a little bit of amends to the older couple. Like he brings them flowers and stuff. Like even when Hume Cronyn tries to make Carlos think that it's her son Bobby, but she realizes that's not him, and acknowledging Carlos Michael Carmine, he walks away though. And with Frank McRae, he's sitting on the burned place of the place until he sees our robots, along with many others. They fix the building right back up again to brand spanking new. And I also forgot to mention there is also I forgot to mention the whole thing with Elizabeth Pena and Dennis Boutsikaris, what's the name? They develop a little bit of they develop a relationship together. Like you also got a funny moment where, like during when Dennis's woman leaves him, he throws out his paintings, but Elizabeth Pena kept them because she liked them, and they start bonding a little bit. And one part where Dennis paints a picture of her, and it shows. And this is PG rating. It shows like he paints a picture of her, but a little bit open, showing a little bit of her not full on naked though, but a little bit. It shows like her boobs and all that, and it's like no, put some clothes on, paint some clothes over that though. And you get a little funny with the little baby flying saucers. They're looking at it and he's like, no, don't look at that. She covers the robots up with a towel. And it's just little touches like that with the robots cute, It's like, no, don't look at that. So that's the relationship with their little them coming together, and the building gets fixed. The building gets fixed up, and then the film ends with the big corporation. They make their buildings though, but that old building is still there right in between them. So, yeah. And that's how the film ends. And all the ones, they're back in where they lived again. Because of the flying saucers, they bring many of them more down to fix it all up again. Batteries not included. I can see why this is like for a 30th anniversary. It definitely is well deserved. I would say it's another classic film from the 80s, which many people don't talk about nowadays because considering the fact that a lot of people are involved in this, especially Steven Spielberg, he's a big name person. Not too many people talk about the film nowadays. Not too many. But everyone does a good job in this, from the effects to the cast. The score I forgot to mention the score by James Horner. May he rest in peace. From Aliens, The Land Before Time, up until his last part, the remake of The Magnificent Seven. May he rest in peace. Though, good score by James Horner. The directing by Matthew Robbins. Some of the stuff that he has directed, I have not seen. He directed a film called Dragon Slayer, or he directed a film called Dragon Slayer, and another one called Corvette Summer. I have not seen those, but as a writer, he helped with he helped on Sugarland Express, which is Steven Spielberg's one of his early films before Jaws that starred Goldie Hawn. He also wrote on Warning Sign and Mimic as well. The one that Guillermo del Toro directed. And he also wrote another one that Guillermo del Toro directed back in 2015 called Crimson Peak. And I think he had it uncredited with Close Encounters of the Third Kind as well. So yeah. For the other two films he's directed, I have not seen though, but he did a good job with this film. So from the cast, did a very good job. The score by the late James Horner, good. It gave like a fun family film vibe to it. The effects, forget who did the effects in this though, but good on the effects on the flying saucers. The writers from Brent Maddock, S.S. Wilson, Brad Bird, the director as well. Good, simple story. It's on for 107 minutes, an hour and 7 minutes, which makes it 107 minutes. I thought the pacing was pretty decent. And on the back here, from Roger Ebert, really enough, he calls it cheerful, funny family entertainment. So yeah, Roger Ebert liked this film. I'll agree to that. I did have fun with the film, and they got some humor that I liked. Was funny. I got entertainment from it. But yeah, from a film that not many people talk about, considering, like I said, the big name in this film is Steven Spielberg. Not people too many talk about the film, which sucks, you know. But to me, 30 years a proper 30th anniversary review of this definitely is well deserved, because it does. Although I'm not a fan of this cover. I think they prefer like the poster, like this one right here, which I don't like. Which, well, nowadays, if you go to Target, when I see stuff from the DreamWorks, when they have DVDs of the DreamWorks animated films, they show just the covers of one of the main characters from the movie, the face of the main character. I don't like when they do covers like that, though. It just shows how lazy when they make DVD covers. I understand what is wrong. What is there wrong with making stuff from the posters? You know. I hate when they do that, though. But still, that's all. That thing. If I would take a nitpick from this, it's this. But other than that, though, I still have fun with the film. I'd say a nice classic from film from the '80s. And everyone who was involved in this, the cast and everybody else, did a pretty good job in this film. So yeah, that's the 30th anniversary of Batteries Not Included. Definitely give it a thumbs up. I enjoy the film, and everyone and most of the people who are involved in this are passed away, from James Horner, Jessica Tandy, Hume Cronyn, Elizabeth Pena, Michael Carmine. Sucks. May they all rest in peace. But yeah, 30th anniversary of Batteries Not Included. If anyone hasn't seen this movie, I would recommend you check it out. It's a fun family film. Has a heart to it. I'll get that, 'cause especially with they bond with the robots. It has a good heart to it. But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.